Yo, what's up guys? Hakuwa here. So today I wanted to go over my setup for Fast Luste. And with my setup for Fast Luste, my consistency has gone up maybe like 80-90% for this trick, which Fast Luste used to definitely be one of the hardest tricks in the game, if not the hardest, but with this setup, I've been able to get it really consistently. So decided to make a quick tutorial on what I do for Fast Luste with a sort of explanation and some inputs on the screen so you can kind of see what's happening. So first, before I start explaining, I'm just gonna play Fast Luste real quick and show you what it kind of looks like. And this trick saves around 3 to 4 seconds, starting from this room here. Essentially, the idea is that you're using Ain's platforms to quickly navigate through this room without having to wait for the platforms to cycle through. So, going back to the start of this video, I'm just gonna slowly explain step by step the process which I go through. So when you first enter this room and slide through here, you're gonna have Freuden's Stachel, and you're gonna immediately start shooting at this guy. So this is probably the most annoying part of the trick, because since Freuden's Stachel is RNG, there's a chance that like not enough Stachel hits this airboy and he just doesn't die. So then when you go for this jump here, he's not dead, and then you damage boost on him, and then you fall down and you die. And it's very sad and disappointing because that's completely RNG and not your fault. So for this first part, this is the easy part of the trick. It's getting from this first platform to the next platform using 3 Ains. So using 3 Ains, you get to the top of the screen, and then you make this sort of jump onto this platform over here. So I'm gonna go back a little bit. And so I actually have very precise, not really precise, that's not the word, like there's a strategy that I always use for these first few jumps that works 100% of the time, and also sets up for the next part of the harder part of the trick, which is the blind jump. So when I go from this platform to the first Ains, I walk to the edge of this platform before I take out the Ains. So if you look closely, I walk to the edge and then I jump, and then I land on this platform. And then the same type of deal follows for the next platforms as well. See, I walk to the edge of the Ains, and then I place another platform. And then same with this, I walk to the edge of this Ains before I place this platform. And now for this platform, I don't walk to the edge for this one. I mean, you can, but I don't. And the difference between this one is that since you're not placing any more Ains, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to slide and jump onto this platform. It's kind of hard to see since it's obscured and there's a cloud and stuff like that, but essentially I'm doing a slide jump. If you pay attention to the inputs, the slide jump is not a high slide jump, it's just a very standard slide jump. You don't have to hold down the A button for that long either. You just want to make it onto this platform. So from here, you'll damage boost and you'll be somewhere on this side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a slide, a jump, and then land on Ains. And that's pretty self-explanatory because you're going from this side and then you're trying to get distance and height at the same time. So the point of the second part here, which is probably one of the harder parts, is that you want speed and distance. You want to go basically upwards as fast as you can, and you want to go horizontal as fast as you can, because the whole idea is that you can only have 3 Ains on the screen at one time. So by advancing the screen horizontally, you can scroll the other Ains off screen and give yourself more Ains to use. So that's the idea behind going kind of fast this way. So so for this part, you only use 2 Ains to reach this skull platform here. And so typically you do a slide jump onto this Ains, and then what I do is I just do a normal jump Ains onto this one, and then another normal jump. No slide jumps between any of these 3. See, I just did a normal jump onto this Ains and a normal jump onto this platform. And I kind of want to land in the middle-ish of the skull guy, so I get damage boost to the left edge of this platform. For this third jump up here, you kind of want to jump high because this skull guy is going to attack you with the fire, so you want to jump over the flames and land on top of him. If you hit the flames, then you'll damage boost and fall down because you'll just go over here and there's no platform there. For these 2 platforms, you can use slide jumps on this platform onto this Ains, and then this Ains onto this Ains. but for me personally, I haven't found that to be very consistent, and I found just slide, jump, jump, jump to be the best way for me, and I've gotten it pretty much 89% of the time. Like, this is the setup that works for me. I mean, it's all up to preference. You can kind of test it out, see what works better for you. Technically speaking, if you do a slide jump, it is faster. I mean, you're saving frames, but for me, this is more consistent, so this is what I do, and personally, I find it easier for me. Because if you're doing slide jumps, you end up sometimes going too far, and I don't want to overshoot this. I want to be on this edge of the platform. Like, that's very specific for my setup personally. So, as you can see, well, I kind of damage boost on the middle-ish, kind of like the left middle-ish. Basically, you want to be close to the left edge as possible. And since the platform is moving to the left, you can kind of be a little bit more to the left than the middle. But either way, you're somewhere on the left side. And then, so from this part, it's kind of hard to see because it's off screen, but once you land on the left edge, you're doing a slide and then a jump, and then you're placing Eins. So you kind of have to, this is the only part you can actually see, is that you can see Tia's feet on the right edge, and that's when you want to make your jump. So you do a slide and a jump, and you kind of, it's kind of hard to tell. Like, looks like I'm going to fall off, but you know. Hitboxes are weird, especially when they're moving platforms left and right. But essentially, you're doing a slide jump off this platform and landing onto the Eins on top here. And while it's really hard to see up here where exactly you are landing on this Eins, I mean, honestly speaking, if you could see where you landed on this Eins, this trick would be incredibly easy because you can just perform the next slide jump. So here, when you're on this platform up here, you can kind of see the little effects of Eins up here, but you can't really see the platform itself, but essentially it's there, and you're going to land on this platform, and then when you land on that, you have to do a slide jump to make it onto this guy. I don't know if you can do a regular jump. I might be able to just do a regular jump at this height and this distance, but generally speaking, a slide jump is the safest way to do it. And the biggest, the scariest part of this blind jump is that when you're doing a slide jump, you could just slide off the platform and just die. So that's probably the biggest thing. But if you take it slowly, like if you jump on here and you wait a little bit, give yourself room to actually land, then you can land and do a quick slide jump. It doesn't have to be a long slide jump. You don't have to try to get to the edge. You just need to do some sort of slide jump. Give yourself some kind of momentum to kind of go further. And you can go really far. It's probably possible to overshoot this platform by going too far right, but generally speaking, you can, like, when you're in the air and you can kind of see where the screen is moving, you know where you're going to land. The only annoying part is actually getting the jump. Once you have the jump, you pretty much got the trick. And you're going to land on this skull guy, and the rest is pretty self-explanatory. You're just doing a slide jump onto another Eins, and then from this Eins, you don't have to jump. You can just slide down to the bottom of the screen there, and there you have it. I kind of moved my video too far to the left, to the right there. But essentially that is Fast Luste, or my setup for the most part, and I get it pretty consistently. So I'm gonna play it again and show off the trick pretty much. So pay attention to going to the right edges of these platforms. Slide jump, normal jump, slide jump, land, slide jump, slide. And that is essentially Fast Luste. Hopefully this kind of helps in some sort of way. I know it wasn't probably the best kind of tutorial or anything like that, but honestly speaking, the main part of Fast Luste is getting the right positions of all your jumps and slides. So those are the very precise or specific areas where I slide, where I jump. Is it a normal jump? Is it a slide jump? Those types of things are probably what you need to know for Fast Luste and getting a consistent setup for Fast Luste. So I hope this helped in some way, and thanks for watching.